These are the exact steps that I would take if I was starting my six-figure online coaching business from absolute scratch. My name is Elle, and as you guys know, and if you don't know, I have built multiple six-figure businesses using the power of social media. First, I built a online fitness business completely from scratch, and then I transitioned to fitness business coaching, helping other fitness coaches build their online business from absolute scratch. And now I help entrepreneurs who are looking to turn their expertise into an online course or coaching program and leveraging the power of short form video to attract more leads and ideal clients. Again, all using the power of social media. And so, if I were to do everything completely over from scratch, this is exactly what I would do. So, step one, you need to create content. And this content does not necessarily need to be complicated. I personally love to do talking head based content, but you can do completely faceless content, which I'm actually going to start testing out myself. But there's this whole new wave that I've been studying, and you don't even have to show your face. Okay. It can be very simple. Another simple strategy is creating B roll of you in your day. This can be you making a cup of coffee or tea or walking your dog, going to the airport, coming off of a train, sitting at your desk, talking with a client, at the gym. Anything you can think of can be B roll when you add text on screen. My favorite strategy, though, obviously, is personally kind of any kind of talking head based content, just because talking head content is going to help you build trust and authority. Your clients get to see you, especially if you're an online coach, and you can give them specific strategies where they can get tangible steps that they can go and implement. Tutorials are also really great, but I go deep, 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 deep into content within 12 weeks to launch my program. I also do go into content within my visibility to 10K system. So if you know that you've been struggling to attract quality leads in the online space, specifically short form video, go ahead and shoot me a DM or comment below visibility. And I would love to hop on a strategy call with you to look at your current content strategy and come up with ways to, one, increase your visibility, but not just to go viral, but to have more conversion based content in your strategy. So, one, you've got to create the content. But next, you want to make sure to go and follow 5 to 9 similar niche accounts. Now, why is that? Now, there's lots of back and forth where it's like when you get to a certain point, you don't want to follow too many similar accounts or engage with too many similar accounts. Reason being is because those are not your ideal clients. So once you do grow, you do then want to start connecting and conversing with more of your ideal clients. And when when you think of your ideal client too, this is kind of a tangent. You don't want to think about like age, demographic, where they live, or anything like that. You want to think about what is the pain, problem, and frustration that you can help them solve. Where are they at? Where are they looking to go? And you are basically the roadmap to get from A to B. Does that make sense? And that could be someone with the same frustration, and maybe it's like increasing their energy. That could be someone who's 50. That could also be someone who's 30 who just has poor living habits. And so that's what you want to think about. But when it comes to starting off, the reason why you want to follow similar niche accounts, you want to think about accounts that do what you do, serve the audience that you serve, or living the lifestyle that you desire to live, or making the kind of money you desire to make, and that you ultimately connect with. Because what you're going to do next is, once you're following these accounts, you want to study them. You want to study what kind of content they're creating, what's working, what kind of captions are they writing, what are the keywords they're using, what are the hashtags. Look at their stories. What kind of stories are they posting? What questions are they asking? What are their people commenting in the comments? This is going to give you so much feedback for your specific offer. And I also want to make a note too that when you're creating this offer and this coaching program, you want to do something that is aligned with you and you have experience in it. You don't want to just start a business that you have no real passion for and you're only doing it for money. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get burnt out, you're going to get frustrated, and you're not going to be in it for the long haul. When you're starting an online business, you want to think about 5, 10 years that you are building this. Eventually, you're going to have a team. It's not just a short time, in the meantime kind of thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to get rich quick. I also don't want you to think like, oh, I'm going to make a ton of money in 30 days. It doesn't work like that. Just reality is it's going to take time. My six-figure businesses didn't happen overnight. When I hit my first six figures, it took 9 months. It took 9 months for me to hit my six figures, but I was consistent. And that first year, I was able to make $180,000 in my online fitness business. And but I was also in person. But it took a lot of work because there's a lot of work that goes in the back end. And so this is just the front end surface, starting from scratch stuff, y'all. We will go into more detail in another training. So now that you have studied the content, look at the headlines, what are the hooks that they're using, think about the marketing psychology behind the videos, like really study these videos because you want to model that. You want to mimic that in your content. And so once you do that, now you are going to create the content based on that research and all that feedback that you just received from studying those 5 to 9 accounts. And what I like to do is put it in a spreadsheet. I actually will go ahead and share that spreadsheet. So if you know yourself, like, I would love that spreadsheet, I'll actually share it in the comments below. Where it's just a spreadsheet where it's like you're doing market research on your top competitors. I'll even create a link to how to use the spreadsheet, but it really helps. So then you can see your 5 to 9, I don't like to say competitors, peers, similar niche accounts. You can see like, okay, what are the keywords, what that they're using? What are the common hashtags? Who do you see their demographic is? You can really map this all out and then use that when you're creating the content. Now you're going to create the content based off of that feedback, based off that research that you're now modeling. And when you go and do that, you will now go ahead and test it in the market. And I feel like the biggest thing that area where people fall short is they never take the time to go ahead and test. They never take the time to actually test their content in the market, and they leave it in the draft. And you don't want to leave your content in draft mode, okay? I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to actually post the freaking content. Even if it doesn't get a ton of likes, even if it doesn't get a ton of views, even if it doesn't get a ton of engagement and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I need to take this down." No, leave it up. It is feedback for you to understand what is working, what is not for your specific audience. And you'll see, okay, what's really working well? Let me go ahead and recreate some of that. But then you also want to think about when you're creating content, every piece of content has a purpose. Okay. Like I know my talking head content is longer and it's only going to speak and connect with the right people who are then going to take the call to action, but like call to action with the keyword. Then I might have a shorter form piece of content that goes viral, but it might not be all of my ideal client. But then I might also have a piece of content that gets barely any likes and engagement, but that one makes me the most money and the most sales. But again, why? Because is conversion based content, there is trust based content, there is connection based content. There is content just for entertainment. And then there's content for storytelling. There's different types of content, and you want to have a mix and blend of that within your content strategy. Does that make sense? If you're finding this helpful, give me one of your favorite emojis right now below, or give me a like on this video if you're watching the replay. Now, once you have done the research, okay, the research, you got the engagement, you're getting the feedback, and I recommend doing some polls in your stories, and I'll do the story training later, some polls in your stories to get feedback. Now that's where you create your hot offer based on the feedback your audience has now given you. I highly recommend too in this content research phase to actually get on some quick calls with your ideal clients and prospects in exchange for maybe a $5 Starbucks gift card, maybe an audit, maybe a freebie, maybe something in exchange just to pick their brain. And this is also someone that you can keep in your back pocket for when you do launch your beta offer or you do launch your first offer, okay? But this is going to help you create your first hot offer because now you completely understand what is it specifically that your ideal client needs the most right now. Like they don't need it tomorrow, they need it yesterday. And so it's something that they keeps them up at night, they're frustrated, And when you're creating this content, it's speaking to them. And again, that's going to help you create the offer. And if you know that you yourself have been struggling to come up or clarify or fine tune what that offer is and the messaging to convey in your content for your audience, please comment audit below. Audit below, because again, I would love to connect with you and go through and break down and understand, okay, what is it and who are you serving? What is the end result that you desire for them to get or you can help them achieve? What is your unique framework to help them get there? And then let's map out your offer together on this call. So when you leave this call, you will have complete clarity of how you can increase your visibility to that specific offer. And next, you've created your offer, you're creating the content. This is when you want to start booking sales calls in the DM about your hot offer. And you can even sometimes, depending on your offer, if you have a low ticket offer, you can 100% close them in the DM. You don't need to get on a call. But if you have a high ticket offer, I recommend getting on a sales call. There are those one off outliers. If you have a really in depth conversation back and forth with someone, you could actually close a higher ticket offer in the DM. That's another training. But I personally love to get on calls because with me, this isn't an intimate relationship. We are working closely together for the next couple months, several months. And I want to get to know you. I want to understand you. I want to see if we vibe because this is an invitation. They're going to be in your world. Is this someone you want to be able to make sure you like this person? You don't want to have those headache, frustrating clients that, like, one, they don't do the work or they're really needy or, just you want to have good energy, especially if you are a coach. Okay. I even remember having a client in the fitness space and they were just too much. I wanted to fire them. Eventually, I did fire them. Okay. And so that's what, again, you want to think about that when you're booking these calls and when you're connecting with these clients. So you're creating the content, you're having the conversation. And if you know yourself, like, okay, well, okay, I'm creating the content. I don't really know how to have a conversation in the DM. Like, what do I say? How do I go about doing that? If you know, like, you struggle with that area, DM me or comment the word sales, and I will send you my exact DM to close script. And when I say DM to close script, that's to get them on a call, but there's also the opportunity to close right in the DM because when you are having these sales conversations in the DM, nurturing, understanding, okay, where they are, what are their frustrations, what are they currently doing, what has not worked, what have they tried, what is their ideal dream life or vision or outcome that they're looking to achieve. And if you see, like, okay, you can fill in that gap, that is where you talk about a little about your offer, how you can help serve them, possibly share some testimonials, and then you invite them to a call with you. And this is an invitation, like, if they're interested, let them say yes, let them be in the driver's seat in that case, and then you get them on a call. When you're on that call, there's a whole process of how to conduct these calls. One, you want to make sure you have confidence and clarity and understanding. But on that call, this is when you collect payment. This is where they enter your world, your program, and this is either, your online course or your online coaching program. Structure this however you want. This is something that I also help my clients with, depending on how you want to have and host your container to deliver your program promise. Once you collect this payment, there is going to be an automation flow and sequence that you want in the back end to just be triggered once that payment is done. And that onboarding process and that enrollment process is really, really key and really important because you want to set the expectations of what they should expect when working with you at the very beginning. For example, if you don't do daily calls or if you don't do weekly calls, or you want to just set the expectations of the amount of time they're going to be receiving from you. Does that make sense? And so ultimately, collect payment. Now you have your new client, and that's just one client of many clients to come. And so this is just part of the foundation. There's so much more that goes into building a six-figure online business. But just to recap, create the content. Find similar niche accounts that you aspire to be, that are in your niche, serving your audience, and then study and do market research on what they are currently doing. Model that in your content so that way you can have actual feedback within the market that's going to then allow you to create your first hot offer, maybe one of many. And this might just be the offer that really hits and connects. Then you want to have those conversations in the DM, get them on a sales call, and lastly, collect payment. And again, if you yourself don't understand how to have these organic, authentic conversations in the DM to lead to a booked call or to lead to a close, go ahead and DM me right here, the word sales, and I'll send you my exact DM to close script. And also, if you yourself, I have an offer, but it's not resonating with my audience. I'm creating content, but it's not really sticking. I really need help fine tuning my messaging and increasing my visibility online to attract more leads and ideal clients. Comment or DM me the word visibility. And I would love to help get you more visible, more paid, so you can start attracting more of your ideal clients, turn customers, and we will hop on this strategy call and I will help you literally break down, gain clarity on not only just your messaging, who you're targeting, what your offer will be, and then we will map out a strategy of actually how you can launch that in this online digital space. I hope you found this valuable. Make sure to save this, um, subscribe, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Have a blessed day.